BA line ever uttered in a movie? Like, you're like, man, that was cold, or like, that was such a cool line.
Movie specifically.
Was there something for a show that you're like, whew?
I don't know. I kind of liked Andor last night. And he was like, "Who are you?"
It's really like a
That was
cold
kind of cold. For Cyril, it was cold.
I mean, they're like a movie line. They're just like, man, that just...
Yippee-ki-yay.
That's it?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you have one that you're like
know.
thinking of?
No, I was just thinking about that. I was just repeating in my head, like, never is a more wretched hive of scum and villainy than the Mos Eisley Cantina. But that's not like a line that I was thinking of for like a BA line. That one just came into my head, and I was like, what are the other lines that I'm like, man, that's a line. Oh man, there's some good ones from Tombstone. Not me. I'm in my prime. I'm your Huckleberry. You don't remember lines, though.
I don't remember lines. I'm very bad at it.
You're right. No human being would stack books like this.
Yeah. I like in Community when the dean shows up and Abed's like, I need help responding to something.
No, you like the line for the Sting.
Yeah, the Community episode of Sting. That's one of my favorite lines. I really like Shrek 4.
I don't think that's out.
No, it's Shrek 5 that's being made.
Is this Shrek 4?
Yes.
What did we watch? I thought it was just Shrek the Third.
I'm pretty sure it's Shrek 4.
The Shrekening?
When,
That was the subtext.
he's like, donkey. He's like, how'd you know my name?
Isn't that not Shrek the Third? That's a lot of Shrek. But
Not enough Shrek. Yeah,
Shrek
it's
is-
Shrek 4.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Shrek 5 comes out next year.
This is my swamp now. And on that note, the champagne's been popped. The wine is flowing.
Shrek Forever After.
You know where we're going. We're going on a backlot tour, and I'm your tour guide, Captain Zach, and this with me always is Beans.
Or
Or
Jana.
Jana. Tell them what we're doing this evening.
Okay.
Come and join us by the campfire, kids.
We are talking about the props.
It's not necessarily props, I guess, but yes and no.
It's stuff that you see in movies, especially in the animated movies.
No, I was talking about live action more.
Oh, I thought we were talking about animated more. Are we not aligned like at
No, we're
all on
not.
anything
My
tonight?
list is all over the place.
Okay, well,
Okay, this is my idea. Ready for this?
Okay.
Disney needs to get aligned with their merchandise because I think they outsource too much of their stuff. And as we know, they have like the Black Series for Star Wars, and you have the sabers that they sell in Duck Ondars.
Yeah,
And there's
Hasbro.
There's Hasbro, and they're like, okay, which ones would you find more legit? Which ones are better? And then they have Black Series helmets. They don't have helmets in like the parks. It's all over the place. Marvel does the same thing where they have Marvel stuff that's in the parks, and then Marvel stuff that's everywhere else. Because I think you can get the Infinity Gauntlet somewhere else and get the one in the park, and it's like,
So you want Disney to stop licensing?
no, it's not like I want like if like maybe uniformity when it comes to like this. Like you start like a Disney standard line. This is our props line basically, and it could be from live action Disney movies or live or animated movies, anything like that. A prop come to life that's like a high quality one line of products that they have. That's like, hey, this is a limited edition from the Disney standard line, one of 3,000 or whatever. And it's like,
So you want everything to be limited edition?
No, it doesn't have to be, but I think like sometimes I don't think a lot of these would sell like a ton is the thing too. I think we're weirdos and we would buy a lot of these things, but there's a lot of people out there and like, I'm not buying that. What am I going to do with that? I think you'd have to make some of them limited.
I still don't think I follow what we're talking about.
You talk then.
Okay, see, I thought we were talking about like things you see in the movies that
Yes.
you wish to own.
That's what I'm getting to. This is,
But you've jumped in at like what's currently there and the low quality of it.
well, yeah, and they need, if we're going to do this line, we need to get their shit straight and we need to up the quality. We need to up the QC. And I think like you make it its own line of like, hey, this is the overarching like division that we have. It's the overarching.
Yes.
What did I say?
Overarching.
Yeah, it's fine. It's overarching. Same thing. It's arcing. It's over it. It's an arch. It's an arching arc. It's an
Okay.
arcing arch. But like it lives in this umbrella of this, basically. Like, what would you want to see in this line? Is what I'm saying. Like, that's like
Well,
the
I'm
big
still
thing
trying to wrap my head around the stuff that you said.
of my demands for them.
Yeah, because I mean, to me, it sounds like you're just saying like you shouldn't be licensing, because I mean that's what Hasbro is. That's what the Black Series is. That is Disney licensing.
Yeah,
that
maybe they should
stuff.
do their own stuff to keep control over it.
Yeah,
Because I
maybe,
think
but
if you
at the
do
same
license it out,
time,
I
think
think
about
they-
how much money that they would lose out on if they didn't license.
Well, okay, maybe if you license it out, it's one company doing this line and doing it correctly.
Yeah. Well, I think both lines are doing it correctly.
Maybe you just leave it
You
to
know.
Hasbro to do it.
I
don't
don't,
like-
like that.
I don't like how there's Doc Ondar's lightsabers and there's Black Series sabers, and they're the exact
Yeah.
same thing. And it's like it bothers me.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
sure
know
that there are
why,
some
it just does.
variations, but I mean, there are people probably who are just like, I am not getting a Disney branded lightsaber. I
Oh, I'm
want it
sure
to
there
be Black Series. I want it to be
Oh.
Pixel.
I think it'd be
You know.
Pixel or something higher than that, like a $500 one.
And then you've got people like us who are just like, if it's not from Doc Ondar's, I don't want it.
Yeah, because I
You
don't
know.
think we have any Black Series.
We don't.
No, we don't.
Yeah. Because we're also nutty too, like that. We don't want to mix and match the series.
It's true.
So, I mean, and when it comes to like the helmets and stuff, I'm fine with that being.
That's only the Black Series. I don't. I
Yeah.
mean, there's other like Etsy shops and
Just
all these
because,
other ones.
like
that
I
you
think
do.
they do a good job. You
Yeah.
know.
But like my problem is, I've said it many times. It's like, why don't they sell helmets in Doc Ondar's
Right.
that are
My
like the
thing
ones
is
that you
too,
don't buy at Black Series?
especially with like how Disney is now, and then specifically with like Star Wars. Growing up a huge Star Wars fan during a time when Star Wars was no longer a thing, in between that OG and prequel period, I'm just glad to have Star Wars merchandise.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm just glad that it's out there.
Well, what are we putting under this umbrella? Give me some merch, because I got a whole list that we had.
When we were watching Return of Jafar with the kids last week,
This is a deep pull, though.
this is a deep pull, but I want it. Hazim, what was his name?
Hazim, I think.
And yeah, so he's robbing the thing. There's like a flower made of gemstones. Aladdin takes it and he gives it to Jasmine. I always wanted that thing. I really like the sound that it made when you put it in the vase. I think that's part of it, but like
This is very weird. Very
I really
specific.
want that, and I really want like an actual rose from Beauty and the Beast.
See, I don't think that Aladdin one, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to make that limited, because there's not gonna be that many people out there that be like, I need that.
Yeah, that'd have to be. It's
That
like
movie was
one
not-
of 25.
It was not that one of 20. Super limited, super expensive. I mean, I have a whole mess of stuff I put on here. That was not one of them.
There are other things I'd like.
Well, I broke it into like divisions a little bit, because I'm like, I want stuff from movies, and I also want like park props from rides.
I want Cinderella's glass slipper, and I want it to be life size and actual glass.
I have that on here. I thought this Cinderella slipper would be a good one. I'm like, but like there's certain things from rides that they do have, but like there's other things that I'm just like, why isn't this in here? It's just like
For purchase.
yeah, like it's some of the stuff. Like, why isn't there more Tiki Room stuff? That doesn't make any sense to
I
me.
would love to have an actual animatronic tiki.
like a little
bird.
animatronic bird. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It started because of the Rocketeer helmet. Because I just printed a Rocketeer helmet, and I was like, why don't they sell this?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've never seen an actual licensed one. I'm sure there is, maybe that like was like a limited edition at some point, but I always see people print them and like sell them on Etsy and stuff like that. It's just one of those things. I'm like, why didn't you sell the Rocketeer helmet and the pack as like this limited edition thing that you can sell as like a wearable prop if you want? It's like a no-brainer. And I'm sure enough people would be interested in that.
Yeah. I mean, thing is, like, who knows the Rocketeer at this point?
I don't know. That's the thing. I also wanted the Roger Rabbit bullets, which I just printed, but I think like an actual licensed set of those bullets with the gun from Roger Rabbit would be really cool. And I've only seen, again, like ones made on Etsy, I think.
I really want the red slippers from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that's on my list here. The necklace of Tafiti, like the Heart of the Ocean, would be another one. That's like
Oh
a
yeah,
nice
I
display.
said that one.
Everything has to be nicely displayed too, if it's something like that.
Yeah, and the thing is too, we're not talking about like toys, or
No, I don't
for
want
instance,
anyone
there's
touching
like,
this.
we have like a Jim Shore that has like Jose from the Tiki Room on it. Like we want like functioning
Yeah,
collectible I mean, Jim Shores are collectible, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I want Jack Sparrow's compass, like a really good movie prop quality compass.
a life-size Black Pearl.
A good model of the Black Pearl would be cool, or all the ships actually.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know why
Like the
they don't do that,
Dauntless.
especially if they did like ships in a bottle.
Oh man, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a dope idea.
Yeah.
Like a ship in the, because they were in a bottle in one of them. Remember?
Yeah, they were.
Because Blackbeard was keeping them all in the, like, if you had Blackbeard ship, you
Mhm.
have Davy Jones ship, you have the Black Pearl ship,
Mhm.
all in a bottle.
We also have the Flying Dutchman.
Well, that's
Davy
Davy
Jones.
Jones,
Yeah. The
the Dauntless
Interceptor.
or Interceptor. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
it would be
Good
missed
idea.
opportunity.
Okay. I mean, some of the stuff is
And
coming
ships
to
in a
fruition.
bottle are expensive. They can make a lot of money on that.
I mean, I always like ships in the bottle. I think that's a cool.
Oh, just picture it on our mantle over the fireplace. Just the
Ooh.
bottles, ships in a bottle. And
Well, okay.
that looks so
this
good.
goes into the next level because
Mhm.
I want a Nautilus, like from 20,000 Leagues. Nautilus in a bottle would be kind of cool too.
Let's put everything in a bottle.
Just put it all in there. Just put it all in a bottle.
Put in a glass bottle we
But
want.
like, part of the things I want for these are nice
Oh,
ways to
that
display
makes me
them.
think of another thing I want. That I Dream of Jeannie bottle.
This is that's completely different.
It's completely different, but it's something I love that show when I was a kid.
We mentioned the statue of Eric
Oh, yes.
in The Little Mermaid. You think that'd be
I so want that.
like made of like something that looks like stone, like that's kind of heavy. Everything's got to have good weight to it, by the way. It can't feel cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's certain things you buy from there that feel really cheap, I feel like.
Oh, I want that Eric statue so badly.
I mean, I feel like Marvel and Star Wars from the parks do a pretty good job of some of these props. Like, especially when you're in Guardians of the Galaxy and you come off, there's tons of stuff there now.
Yeah, but when you take a closer look at some of it,
some of
it's
it's
very
really
like
cheap. Yeah.
cheaply made.
Well, they have the Daredevil helmet now, which is wild to me that's in
Yeah.
that store. But like, some of the stuff is fine, and then some of like the ether and like the cosmic cube don't look that great. And it's like this is like it was like $100.
It looks like a toy.
Now. Yeah, they're kind of toys. And I'm like,
I mean, even Loki's, and we have Loki's scepter, but even that looks like a toy.
I think they have the Tony Stark arc.
Yeah,
reactor,
they have that.
like proof that he has a heart.
And
I
that
like
looks good.
That one looks good. Yeah. Part of the park series, Mr. Toad's gravestone. I'd want. Most things from Haunted Mansion, which they don't redo, and like I'm like, I feel like Spirit Halloween does more than they do at this
You
point.
say that they don't do, and look in this room.
Well, no, like I'm talking about like these statues. This is from like
He's talking about the busts that follow you.
yeah, like there's like a really big one that they had at Spirit Halloween that was like $30.
Yeah, Spirit Halloween and Lowe's does like
Lowe's
good
has
stuff.
a full size like caretaker, and they had like the headless knight,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, how are they beating you on some of this prop stuff?
Well, because it's licensed, so Disney's still winning.
Oh, like we have like a toy version of this, but like a really nice Tron disc replica with a nice display. They can actually prop it up.
Yeah, and it actually turns on.
Ours turns on, but it's like cheap plastic. I think
Well,
it just
because
needs-
it's a toy.
yeah, exactly.
When the movie came out in like 2011.
Yeah, you said Ursula's necklace was
Yes,
another one.
that would be a good one. And again, like, like not toy, not even necessarily like a wearable necklace, but like a nice display necklace.
Yeah, and
That is nicely done.
You also said Maui's hook, like not toy version, like
Yeah.
a real like bone looking actual cool hook.
Like life size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could
That'd
really
be so
hurt
cool.
someone with, You said also lantern from Tangled.
Yeah. Tangled lanterns would be
Tangled
very
lanterns.
cool. I feel like that is such a missed opportunity for Disney. Like
Why don't they
everybody
sell those?
flips out for anything Tangled, and people absolutely love that scene. They love that song. Like get like some lanterns, like make different lanterns.
What would it
to
be made
sell.
of though?
I think it depends on what the intended use is.
Would it be like something that looks like it's actually floating, but it's like a lamp maybe? But it has like a really
Maybe, or you know how like in the park, at night in front of the Tangled bathrooms, you can get your picture holding the lantern.
yeah.
Like, why not just like that?
Yeah. That'd be fine.
Or
Well,
even sell like the actual lanterns you have hanging there.
Yeah. That's
like
probably the
strands.
easiest. Well, you wanted me to do that up in the ceiling at one point possibly is like have
Yeah.
the lanterns like hanging,
Mm-hmm.
which I was just trying to like I was trying to find something. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
Not even on Etsy. I was like nothing matches what like is in the movie.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Poppins umbrella.
Yeah, and they did make that for a little while.
I'm sure some
but I
of
think
these
it
have
was
been
like
made,
the Broadway version.
Ugh, disgusting.
And her carpet bag.
Just her bag, yeah. Oh, the book from Hocus Pocus. I thought would be another cool one.
That
Like
would
an
be
actual,
cool.
like the actual real prop of that.
Yeah. People love
You said
Hocus Pocus.
an actual full size real marionette of Pinocchio.
I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I want all the Muppets so that like,
Maybe
I
a
could
little
buy.
creepy at times, but
Yeah.
very cool.
Why don't they sell like the Muppet puppets? It's like you probably
Because
gotta,
I think
they don't want people doing their own.
Yeah, they don't want people doing weird things.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's a control issue.
I thought Dick Tracy's watch would be another cool one, like an older pull from like an older Disney movie.
I don't think I know Dick Tracy well enough to.
Oh, he had like a watch, like a communicator watch. I think that was a big deal back then. It was like so futuristic for like I guess it was like a 20 or 30s serial. Like he had like a little watch that you could talk to, like a phone.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's just kind of crazy that like whenever these movies come out or, you know, they have like these new attractions and stuff, that they don't capitalize on the merch opportunities. Like, I mean, you know, Moana comes out, they know everybody wants that Heart of Te-Fiti, you know, in that necklace. And it's not just the little girls, like
it's the adults.
the costumes. It's like, it's beautiful. It's, you know, they want people of all ages to be relating to their movies. So it's like, why not make something for the adults when they relate to that movie?
This also goes back to like a point that I was thinking about, like, why aren't there certain, like, even like a small little kiosk outside of like the Moana thing at Epcot selling some merch?
Yeah, or even at least in the Seas gift shop.
That's like specific to Moana, and like you can only find it over there. The same thing for Tiki Room. Why isn't there a Tiki Room, like something? It's like you have a cult following for some of these rides, and they figured it out with Haunted Mansion. We've said it before. They finally made Memento Mori, and it's, you know, one of the better gift shops. Pirates of the Caribbean needs a better gift shop, and I think it'll probably be revamped whenever they finish all that nonsense. But like, why doesn't Jungle Cruise have stuff?
They named that tavern the Beak in the Barrel.
Beak in the Barrel?
Something like that, yeah.
Jungle Cruise like shoved like a little bit of their merch in that shop, and that was it. And that's all I can think to do was like just like a few shirts, I think. Same with Indiana Jones for some reason. Indiana Jones, like, remember they used to have like a merch store, and then they were like, it just like disappeared. It was right next to the stunt show. It was very small.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just like were like, nah. And like maybe if you made better merch for these properties, people would actually buy them and be more interested.
Well, make better merch, but at the same time not charge like an arm and a leg for it. Because like,
how much is that tablet?
I think it's close to 200.
Jeez, it's pretty big though.
It is big. It is big, and it looks really good. But I still think that's
3D
like
print that though. Is the thing.
$50 too much, at least. You know,
I could 3D print it for $10.
but it's not going to be the same quality or texture, design, or weight or anything, and it's not Disney branded.
Challenge accepted. I'll put a
Just
Disney
like,
brand.
just like you had that 3D printed Calicori, and it's just like, well, Disney finally put the Calicori for sale again. So it's like, I'd so much rather have that.
Yeah. Well, that one was like resin and really heavy and nice.
Gorgeous.
It was like a lot bigger than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
And like that goes back to the Star Wars stuff. It's just like you're not going to find that on like a Hasbro site or something. That's like Star Wars branded for the parks, only in the parks. And I'm just like, why not expand
and they only
that?
had it at Doc Ondars.
It's like expand the Doc Ondars brand and do more. Like you have all those props up there. Sell some of those props. Sell Leia's helmet for when she was the bounty hunter.
Bosch Leia.
Sell her helmet for when she was on Endor.
And it's kind of wild that they didn't, because, you know, they sold her poncho for all the one that I have
So you can't buy the rest of the actual costume. Because you can't buy that helmet unless you get like a specific place that's going to make it for you, I feel like, on Etsy.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many opportunities that they're just like missing. And we say it so much. And it's just like, why don't you guys do this? You have all these licenses. You have the means to do this.
Do it.
I'm just like, maybe send out some surveys and be like, would you be interested in buying these products? Would you want a Rocketeer helmet? And you're like, yeah, I want that. Would you
I
want the
just
glass
don't think
slip?
it's even crossing their mind, honestly.
Just some of this merch. I mean, you gotta think that like most of the stuff they sell there is probably just shirts and plushes. That's probably like, I feel like 75% of what they sell for merchandise.
I don't know. And maybe it's just because
Bubble
I have
wands.
like an insane amount of t-shirts anyways, but like I'm usually not looking for the clothing unless it's like a dress shop dress or
Well, I mean, the-
Star Wars
Okay,
specific.
plushes then. The plushes I feel like are like a big ticket, and it's so cheap for them to make. And so
I bet they sell the most pins.
you think pins still?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't think those are as popular anymore. Not nearly.
I think they still
How can we figure this out? Is there a way to look up like what their number ones like, how like it breaks down like percentage wise of like what sells for what?
I mean, I could read through their 10K later and see if they have anything
we'll
in
just
there.
do some deep
But
dives. Well, it's like when I feel like the bubble burst on pins a while ago, just like Vinylmation. I know pins are still like, they still trade and stuff way more than Vinylmations. I think are just completely dead because they just oversaturated the market. But like, I just want something like a props division. I think that'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
hmm So the one thing to consider too is like when I went to Universal a couple months ago,
Go on.
it was so hard for me to find something to buy for y'all, because like of course, anytime I go on a work trip, I'm going to get something for the kids, sometimes something for you, when I'm going on a trip without y'all. And it was so hard to figure out what I wanted to buy you guys from Universal because like almost everything at Universal you could get at Walmart,
Anywhere,
Target, Amazon, or something like very comparable.
No exclusivity whatsoever.
Right. So what I ended up getting was like something Super Nintendo World themed that, like
Yeah.
was strictly Super Nintendo World for Ronan. And then like Olivia was like, specifically Isle of Berk, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
And that like you can't get anywhere else. And you were like the hardest. And I did get you a t-shirt. It's like a Back to the Future one.
You got me a Back to the Future car set too.
Yeah. But it's like the whole time I was
Which is not even there anymore. That's the funny part. Because I was like, there's no Back to the Future there anymore.
Yeah, but they still have the shops and stuff for it. And they do have the Doc Brown meet and greet.
That's weird.
That's a problem that I feel like Disney handles well for
It's
the
just
most
the amount
part.
of variety they give you for like.
Is that a lot of the stuff, well, and it could be too because we're Disney snobs,
Well, it's like the exclusivity. Like
the exclusivity.
Like you can only get that in the park kind of thing.
Right.
Well, it's like the same thing happens with like most places. Like when we were at the aquarium today, like in the gift shop, I was like, you can buy most of this stuff for a fraction of the price on Amazon of what
Right.
these things. It was like, a plush whale, and I'm like, this is $35.
No, it was $24,
There were some other ones that were
which
like
is
that.
actually a pretty good price for plush compared to Disney or Universal.
Yeah, but like you can just go online and just get like a
But,
whale
yeah.
that's like comparable. That's not
Yeah.
a special whale,
Right.
It's not Whaley the whale, So it's like I was like, I can't justify getting anything in here. It's just like you can get all this stuff for like there was some of those light up things that Ronan was looking at, and I was just like, these are literally like $10 on Amazon,
Yeah.
and they're like $40.
Although
here.
I will say, on that note though, there at the zoo a couple years ago when we went, there was like a safari vet Barbie thing. It wasn't necessarily Barbie, looked exactly like Barbie, and Olivia was just like, I want that for Christmas, and she's like, okay, but it was like $30 or something. It's like, I'm not gonna pay that for a Barbie, it's like I can probably find it somewhere else. Lo
Nope.
and behold, no, that
No,
is
you cannot.
exclusive to the National Zoo Association. So like, and we weren't going back to the zoo anytime before Christmas.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody going to the zoo, like, asked our friends and stuff. And I finally found it at a zoo in Ohio online and ordered it from them to get it for.
Weird.
Yeah.
That was very random.
Yeah. But I mean, so it just goes back to like getting it in the park.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. A lot of times, yeah, especially at Universal, at your local zoo or aquarium, and even Disney, with some things, you know, you can find.
There's a lot of those things you can just get
Yeah.
online. They're just so generic.
Yeah.
But like,
Also, on the Disney note too, I've known for a while, and I don't think it's as bad as it used to be, but always check, unless you're just kind of like your kid has to have it now or you have to have it now, check the Disney Store website before you buy something in the park, because
discounts.
well, no, not discounts, because they don't really do discounts on Disney Store that much. Like, you're not going to get your AP or your DVC discount.
Yeah, I'm talking about like sometimes those lightsabers are like this much off.
Oh, yeah. No, but like, for instance, the classic dolls, and they've finally like leveled them out a little, I think. The classic dolls, if you bought them at disneystore.com, they were like $20 each or something. And in Disney World, they were like $32 each.
Yeah.
You know, so always check online and just do a little price comparison.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think the stores will price match, but one, it's worth asking about. And two, if they don't, you know, go ahead and order it online and it's going to be there when you get home. Or maybe by the time you get home, you're just like, not really something I want anymore.
It's almost like reach out to some of these Etsy creators and tap them to like help you with your merch.
Have them come on as contractors.
Yeah, like have them be consultants and be like, help figure out what these brands need and looks and design and like sell better merch. Like, because there's some stuff on there that's so much better. But I mean, like, I think if you consult with some people that are actually making merch that's moving, that people actually want, because there's so much stuff that Disney, I'm just like, no one's going to buy that.
Yeah.
It's just bad design.
Yeah. And honestly, and we are digressing so far from where we started, but like Disney just
What we
came
signed
out
up for.
a few days ago with like, and it's by Her Universe, and it's like an athleisure line, like athletic skirt dresses. That
I think I saw
like
that. I saw an ad for that.
the princesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there is, and honestly, like Her Universe normally does better than that. So
They seem pretty basic.
they're very basic and they're not that cute or attractive or anything. But like there's a small shop that I follow and I buy from called Crowned Athletics, and their stuff is just like top notch, high quality, beautiful bounding stuff. And then like the God, what's the word for the dresses? The sublimation printed dresses that I have, like
What's
the tightrope one, the Navi dress,
okay, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, yeah, that I get on Etsy. Like those are even like so much better,
Yeah.
you know, in a wider variety.
They were just like, meh. It's a good
yeah.
idea to do that for like, maybe like, definitely for like Run Disney and all these other things, because like for those princess marathons, it's like, I feel like those would sell like crazy, but just, they weren't that fun.
No.
They look so, I was like, it came up in an ad for Instagram and I was like, these look so, ooh.
They're very basic.
Yeah.
And like this
It was just,
store,
like, one
Crowned
color.
Athletics, does like so much better.
They just don't want to have fun anymore.
Or maybe it's just things seemed more fun when we were kids and now we're adults and realizing that
No, it's not.
it's just bad.
No, it's not. Take us home, Beans. Tell them where you can find us.
Well, if you want to go check out some of this bad merch in person, I can help you plan that trip.
It's not all bad.
It's not all bad. You can see the good stuff too. And, you know, don't forget you're in Disney having fun.
See some real garbage, though.
Stop.
Hot garbage.
You spend your money how you want to.
Yeah, it's been,
If you'd like to spend at Disney, though, I can help you with that and help plan your
spend
vacation.
way less and less every year on merch.
Yep.
There.
Just reach out, Jana at castleboundtravelco.com, or send me a DM on Instagram at castlebound_Jana.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe, follow,
Subscribe.
subscribe. And,
Subscribe.
you know, go on Apple, go on Spotify, leave us a review. We'd greatly appreciate it. And that's also where you can find us, Apple Podcast and Spotify and YouTube. Video hopefully coming soon.
The Haunted Mansion expansion is going smashingly.
Yes. So once that is done.
Printing the gargoyles right now. They're huge.
Although, you know, we don't have to start with Haunted Mansion
Think so?
anyways. There's a great big pretty okay
And
tomorrow.
it's shining at the end of every day. Yeah.